LeBron, the big influencer. See, going back to yesterday's podcast, right? LeBron said that Stephen Curry and Allen Iverson are more influential than Michael Jordan, right? I think overall, Michael Jordan is probably the most influential basketball player that has ever touched the grace of this earth. As far as inside the NBA and outside the NBA. Now, Steph Curry, influential when it comes to, I guess, changing the game. And everybody wants to shoot ridiculous amount of threes. Allen Iverson kind of changed the culture in the early 2000s with the tattoos and the cornrows and the hip hop wear, which they don't even wear anymore, which is probably more masculine than anything they wearing. Some of these dudes wearing now. But LeBron James, he's very influential himself. Maybe not on a grand scheme of Michael Jordan. Like I said in my previous video, no one's ever going to touch that. That is so far out. It's impossible. No one's ever going to touch Michael Jordan's influence or even capture the essence of what he did for the league. But LeBron James himself, he's very influential. Very influential in this modern NBA. You got to take out the landscape of the NBA. The ratings. When Michael Jordan left, or even when Michael Jordan was playing, the ratings were almost at an all-time high. Even when he left, they slightly dipped, but they were still high enough for the NBA to be popular and everybody to sit there and watch it. In the year 20 years later, they had dipped. This has been the effect of the LeBron James influence. His influence on this modern NBA has caused the younger NBA players to, can we say load manage? Even though I think that was more of a Spurs thing. Greg Popovich trying to preserve the careers of mainly Tim Duncan for him to even play until 2016. Almost 40 years old. Tim Duncan. I think Tim Duncan was 40 years old when he retired. So there's that. But LeBron took it and ran with it, influencing all the rest of these players like Kawhi, sitting out games, acting like spoiled brats. But some I do share this. There are some players that are now up and coming that don't share his influence like that. They're repelling against his influence. But the damage has already been done. The biggest influence LeBron has had on this league is the super team. He influenced Kevin Durant to make that Golden State super team, which drove the ratings down even more because you look at the NBA Finals for these years, you already know there was a foregone conclusion who was going to meet in the finals. It was going to be Cleveland and Golden State, which is not really impressive, not really exciting to watch because you already knew who was going to win, or at least know who was going to be in the finals. I think one year you already knew who was going to win. So that has further synced the NBA into what it is now. If it wasn't, I guess you say, if it wasn't for LeBron James, there would have been no bubble. He orchestrated, I wouldn't say orchestrated, but he wanted that so badly. Because nobody else really wanted that. Nobody else really wanted to be in that bubble like that. That was, some of the players thought that, I wouldn't say the worst part of their life, but they didn't want to be part of that. They wanted to be at home. There were so many other things to think about. The All-Star game now, trash. You got this NBA play-in, trash. I think it's unnecessary. I figure if you, it's a partition. It's not even needed. It really isn't. I say this: if you ain't good during the season, you should not be allowed to even participate, to be even close enough to get into the playoffs. That's just my opinion. You have to work hard for the whole season to get to the playoffs. Not sit there and slack for half the season and decide to play a little bit better and then just be good enough to get in the play, and then all of a sudden it's just stupid. Um, you have to, like I said, the slow managing players, ducking other players, um, and the biggest influence is NBA players believing that personal accomplishments is the thing. They would always be better than winning. These dudes only care about how many points they get, how many awards they get, more than actually winning the game itself. And it's quite disgusting. And it's causing a void, especially with the older generation NBA fans who once watched the 80s, some 70s, especially the 90s, even 2000s. It's causing a void. It really is. I remember back in the day, watching the NBA was almost a pastime. Now, it's whatever. I don't even turn it on. Unless it's the Bucks playing. And even when the Bucks play, I don't even want to turn it on. For what I know, Giannis is not even going to play tonight, so I ain't going to turn it on. Maybe that way, I don't know. But any other team, I'm not rushing to turn that on. Back then, 15, 20 years ago, yeah, heck yeah, I was rushing to turn it on. Now I don't want to. LeBron James influenced a lot of what's going on in the NBA. He influenced this damn commissioner to make all these special, stupid, gimmicky tournaments. The in-season tournament, which I think was created for LeBron to get a fifth ring that nobody respects. All these rule changes, all to help this guy, make him seem better. But just because y'all have the most points don't make you the GOAT. I don't know where that even came from. That type of thinking is coming from. But that's the type of thinking of these younger fans. They don't know nothing. They haven't learned nothing. They haven't lived long enough. That's why it's a clash now. That's why I get so bent out of shape when some of these players got minor injuries. There's dudes back in the day that played with minor injuries with less technology with their shoes. Back then, they played 82 games, but now that's being questioned to say that that these players who played 82 games back in the day was taking PEDs. You see what the weird thinking that's going on right now with some of the young folk? Dudes, players back in the day played 82 games, so they must be on PEDs. You can blame Gilbert Arenas for some of that too, for even putting PEDs and Michael Jordan in the same name because he played 82 games and went balls. Just it's frustrating. It really is. It's really frustrating how vulnerable and dumb the younger generations got. But that's a different video for a different day. But yeah, LeBron James is very influential. I do give him that, but he influenced. His influence is negative, not positive at all. Because nothing ever since he's been in the league, ever since he probably been the face of the league so far, nothing's been very positive. It's just a downward spiral, not downward spiral. It's terrible. And I think maybe once he's gone, maybe things will get better. Maybe some other player that influenced Adam Silver, because I think Adam Silver's contract is up to 2030. Who knows? But anyways, Jordan is forever going to be the most influential basketball player to ever grace this earth. Even if you don't consider him to be the GOAT, it's just no one that ever touched that. What he was able to accomplish, the influence he's able to get. I know some other people think Wilt is the GOAT or even Kareem, but just as far as popularity and everything else, it's just Jordan is just heads above everyone else. I forgot to mention, somebody actually reminded me that Allen Iverson, because LeBron said Allen Iverson is more influential than Michael Jordan, but here's Allen Iverson back in his Georgetown days wearing Jordans, Jordan 11s to be exact. If you don't think LeBron has some disdain towards Jordan, then I don't know what to tell you. If you don't think that, I got a boat to sell you and Mars. But anyways, I'm done.